Being stupid is complicated. Characters aren't described as stupid because they just make bad decisions. They are making bad decisions in alignment with their flaws. That's how character works. It's not supposed to birth the response, they're stupid, therefore they do stupid things. By the same logic, we can say, this person is competent, so they do competent things. The problem is that their actions aren't tied to who they are or their motivations. The argument should advocate for how they do competent or stupid things related to their skills. You can have no skills, but this doesn't necessitate being stupid at every turn. The skills are related to something else about who they are on a character level. Being stupid can have the same problem of messing with stakes. It sets the precedent that whenever in a predicament, an unpredictable and stupid thing will happen to further the story. It's a get-out-of-jail-free card for the writer. Trying to hide that escape route for your poor writing through having a plot that has stupid characters is incompetent. By this metric, Rian Johnson doesn't need to problem solve and connect anything to have a coherent narrative. If you say it's meant to be stupid, then why are there so many scenes dedicated to explaining the plot? You can't have it both ways. Either the writing is awful on purpose, or it's awful by accident. Both end in the result being bad writing. And when the explanations given by the film make no sense either, that's when you're a complete hack. If you ask the question, why didn't he do another dumb thing instead, then the only response can be because he didn't think of it, rather than because he's stupid. Because what he actually ended up doing was itself stupid. Stupidity is the baseline for choices, means anything can happen at any time for the sake of the plot. To do something smart would require consequences of actions based on cause and effect, rather than it being it happened because that's what happened. The lack of characterization, as well as the deflection for criticism being he's stupid, leaves you with a film where nothing matters because anything could happen, despite what we try to know about the stupid character. It makes us question why he didn't do a smart thing instead, and it doesn't answer why he doesn't do another stupid thing. The reason at every turn is for the sake of the plot, which in turn breaks the plot, making the construction of said plot be based entirely on convenience and caprice. When certain characters are supposed to be smart, but end up being stupid, and that's meant to be the point, then the defense doesn't hold. It begs the question, what does a bad version of Glass Onion look like? A film where things make more sense or less sense? Can Glass Onion possibly be bad? By this logic, the more writing issues you point out, the better it gets. When Miles shoots Helen with Duke's gun, and she survives, it makes us ask, why didn't he shoot her more than once to make sure he's dead? The defense, because he's stupid. However, if we change the scene and say he tries to shoot her but can't work out how to use a gun, then the defense would be the same. It shields the film from any problem. If you can explain why he only shoots one shot beyond repeatedly saying, because he's stupid, then you're doing the writing for the film. And to say that him being stupid is the point, then you haven't been listening. You can be dumb while still responding to things like a real human being. Stupidity doesn't mean insanity and nonsense at every turn. The character still has cognitive abilities. He would still have self-preservation. In fact, a stupid person might overcompensate in the way of self-preservation. Basic survival instincts have to kick in eventually. So when Benoit arrives on the island, Miles doesn't reject his arrival because he's stupid. You are advocating for the fact that a murderer sees an uninvited, world-renowned detective show up on his island and he can't connect the dots. Believability is discarded for laughing at how dumb this guy is. So dumb that he's able to grow a tech empire and see the person he murdered arrive on the island and not think, maybe there's a reason for that. What do we think Miles' thought process is at this moment? That Andy is a ghost? Or maybe, just maybe, she's here to prove something. Maybe that he committed a murder. He just thinks that she's here for the party. He saw her die. You've got ample reason to make Benoit leave, and instead you think how cool it is that you've got a world-renowned detective at your murder mystery party. It doesn't help that when Duke is murdered, Miles has to be the one to point out to the world-famous detective that not only is Duke's gun missing, but that he was poisoned after drinking from Miles's glass. Benoit is meant to be the smart one in this film, but even his intelligence seems to have been infected by the buffoonery of everyone else. Glass Onion occupies the space where Miles' stupidity is just unexplainable and nonsensical enough to facilitate the plot. He's so dumb, he doesn't even ask basic questions. He's beyond a functioning human, making us question why he got to where he is as a tech billionaire, someone who has to be smart to do well. A tech billionaire that has a fax machine instead of a phone. To have a character do whatever it is you need them to do, and it be justified within the story by the very fact that that was what happened, is bad writing. If the stupidity could result in any response from any character, then that means they cannot possibly be consistent. Am I the stupid one for reading into the film to a degree that dissects and obliterates the logic it wants to uphold? Is that the point of Glass Onion? It's stupid and that's what makes it good? Was that the point all along? Am I the stupid one? Or am I the one who saw what Glass Onion was trying to portray? I don't even think Ryan Johnson could give me an answer to these questions. Those who say it's good must have been doing less thinking, or much more, to arrive at that conclusion. But how was your conclusion reached? By accepting the stupidity and rewarding it as good because that's the point? Or did you delve deeper? Examine the layers all the way down, or not examine them at all? Maybe both ways are right, or both are wrong. By that nonsensical metric, the film avoids criticism. A writer telling the audience that a character would make a certain decision, and then accepting it for that reason alone, highlights a lack of engagement from the viewer. The story is being treated as law, whether or not it provides contradictory information to the viewer, or if it has the possibility of there being a better version of events that fits the character or theme. So when you feel yourself wanting to defend this film by saying it's meant to be bad, or because he's stupid, just stop for a moment and think. Glass Onion being purposely dumb doesn't excuse the film for actually being dumb. That just affirms that the movie is bad, so stop using it as a defense.